Welcome to another edition of Wanted here, live in the studio here with me, Henry Scott Irvin. A few clues about my guest today. He just did a performance at the Raindance Film Festival at the Leicester Square Theatre last week. He's written and composed soundtracks to over 90 films, including Shallow Grave, Phenomena, Santa Sangre, working with film directors like Danny Boyle, the legendary Alejandro Jodorowsky, and many, many more. He is sitting here very patiently as we go live. Simon Boswell, nice to have you on the show.
Hello, nice to be here.
And you brought along your laptop, so you're going to play us all sorts of bits and pieces.
Yeah, I haven't taken it out of the bag yet. But
Don't worry. Well, I tell you what we're going to do is maybe just as we set up here. I think what we might do is we might just play a little bit more of the theme tune to the show. Some people ask what it is, and I don't think I've ever revealed what it is, but it's the You Can't Sit Down by the Fill Up Church combo, and it used to be played regularly in Soho at the Scene Club in Ham Yard. So let's just take a little bit of this while we set up and get ready to play you some fantastic music and some good chat here with Simon Boswell, who's also brought a special guest. There we go. The joys of being live, you see, here on Resonance. We like to get everything just right. Simon Boswell, very interesting career you've had here. And I first became aware of you, I have to say retrospectively, because I'm pretty sure I saw you support Blondie.
I did support Blondie, yeah. Not financially or in any other way. The other way around, I was hoping, but no.
And what year was that? Remind me.
It was 1978, kind of height of punk.
Then I would have seen you at the Edinburgh Odeon.
Probably, yeah, that rings a bell.
And I do remember because it was suddenly when Blondie were absolutely huge.
Yeah.
And when music had gone from being new wave and punk to a new sort of palatable buzzword name that the music industry coined called power pop.
Yeah, it's a horrible phrase.
And I guess your band was called Advertising. Tell us about Advertising. You supported Blondie.
We supported Blondie. I mean, we were around kind of rehearsing, with all the punk bands. So actually, we were very poor and we had no money. In fact, there were two of us to begin with, Todd Taylor and I, who wrote the material and sang, equally on stage. But we didn't have a bass player or a drummer. And so what we did is we looked in the back of the Melody Maker where they advertised for musicians, and we looked and found a band called 999 who were advertising for bass players and drummers. Okay. So Todd and I went along to their rehearsal space where they were auditioning and pretended to be Spanish journalists writing about punk so that we could listen to the drummers and bass players they were auditioning, and then if we found one we liked, we nip outside saying can we interview them and ask them if they wanted to join our band.
Oh, wonderful.
That's how we found them, actually. Paul and Dennis.
Excellent. And tell me, what label were you on and who produced you?
Well, eventually we ended up on EMI. I think in those days EMI Records were kind of like would sign up loads of people and throw them against the wall and see who stuck and slid slowly down or very fast down the wall. We were signed to EMI and they kind of fixed it for us to support Blondie because Blondie was operating in the same kind of area. We did not want to be punks. We considered ourselves, we were a bit arrogant, far too intellectual to be associated with this sort of angry youth thing. We had more in common, I think, with the New York kind of intellectual punk side.
The Talking Heads side.
Yeah, Talking Heads television, Blondie. And so we toured with them just as Denis became number one, so it was pretty big.
Oh, okay. Then, actually, I think I would have seen you at Strathclyde University then.
Oh my God! That was terrifying.
Show. That was because Blondie sort of had an argument on stage. I remember.
Well, before that, we were kind of bottled off. I mean, one of my more terrifying reminiscences of touring was going on stage to see the crowd parted down the middle into Rangers and Celtic supporters who were chanting at each other with the sort of the Red Sea divided down the middle.
Yes.
Which is quite terrifying.
It was scary.
And as I plugged my guitar and went to sing, this guy at the front beckoned me down with his finger, and I bent down, and he said to me, he said, "I'm going to get you." So I was too terrified to sing, but that only lasted a number. It was a sort of hail of cans and bottles, and we went off.
Crikey. Okay. Yeah, well, that's probably why it's a very
hazy memory.
Hazy memory. I think we were probably hiding at the bar, you know. Exactly. The joys of those good old days. Well, look, maybe you could play something by advertising but later, but I thought just to drive the show along, you did this great show at the Leicester Square Theatre with your band and you've got a CD out of the sort of your best of material. Is that right?
There's a CD out. This is what's interesting. I mean, this show is something I've been planning for a long time, and I can never be accused of hurrying in this respect. There's an album which took 13 years to make, and that came out in 2005, called "Close Your Eyes," which I took a lot of my film music, some of the orchestral stuff, the electronic stuff, and cut it up and used it as samples to write new pieces. And then invited the film directors I worked with, including Jodorowsky and Dario Argento, a number of other people. And some of the actors, Ewan McGregor, Ray Winstone, they're all on this album.
Oh, fantastic.
And it's taken another 12 years to put the band together to perform a lot of this stuff. So I could play you a track from that as a starter.
That would be great, yes.
You've got a choice here. You could hear Ewan McGregor doing the rather obscene rap to, spoken word, I should say, to the track "Time to Die," which we did the other night.
And what was the other one? That might be, if it's slightly sensitive, it might be difficult this time in the afternoon.
Okay, all right, let's try. Let me think about this. You could have Ray Winstone.
Yeah.
Either emoting about love. It's a song called "Vampires," which is actually the music from a movie called Hackers that I did, an Angelina Jolie film.
Big film, yeah.
And I kind of reworked that into a love song between two vampires.
Let's
try that. Let's try that. It's quite gentle, actually. But see what you make of it. Hang on.
Thank you.
I'm not a DJ, so
we're going to do this off the laptop, so it's going to be good quality.
see